Good evening, Bhubaneswar. I am going to represent something which we all know. There's nothing that we don't know. In fact, this topic makes us speechless many a times, but due to our duties, due to our engaging works, it somehow remains in the auditorium. And from tomorrow again, we start working on the agendas the way we always do. I have been attending these kind of sessions where the stalwarts of the industry is talking really eye-opening facts, and the next day we happen to meet them and we are doing the same old rut. Unfortunately, these things cannot be changed unless we all try to get these things to be changed within. I am just trying to contribute a small presentation because I know it's late by almost 90 minutes. Being from Mumbai, we know the importance of time, so I will not keep you engaged with the boring session. It is going to be a very light note presentation where we talk about concrete and we are toning towards green, which is very important, essential. Architecturally, I'm going to start and then it's going to be on the real estate. The importance of sustainable construction and architecture in mitigating environment degradation. I'm not going to talk much, though I have 10 pages. I will just try to cover as short possible. The image itself talks a lot. Evolving into extinction. We see the images where there was a green reflection, and what we are going today is dissolving almost what we have as Mother Nature. When I talk to a person, I can interact, I can get a reciprocation. There are yeses, there are no's, there are do's, there are don'ts. We don't talk to nature. We take it at our liberty, at our own conveniences, time and again. The moment our needs became want, this traumatic change started happening. Majorly in the last 15-20 years, it has taken a drastic pace, and we have seen the changes. With respect to the topic of all the stalwarts, I'm coming to the bylaws, I'm coming to the authorities who are majorly responsible for all this. It is an interpretation that we read a book and statutory norms have been taken. You may talk about CRZ, we may talk about LDZ, limited development zone, no development zone, eco-sensitive zone, coastal region zone, low height zone, heritage zone. Somebody comes with agenda and he takes into a different interpretation and few norms are diluted, and that's how it has been taking shape. The development then was limited to a town, it was limited to a city, where people used to plan introvert houses, people used to plan convenient shopping which was inward looking, people used to park their small cars outside, they used to meander, they used to go to the shopping, and it was limited to a city. They never knew how to go out, spread wings, and then transportation, development came in picture and people started connecting cities, and the asset that we had suddenly became global. We knew our value and we started importing, we started exporting. The development came in picture, the authority started giving the plots to the developers. With due respect to the developers, I had to spend 5 years to become an architect. I don't know what is the criteria to become a developer, I'm sorry. But that's the fact of the country today. And then, individual shopping became the peripheral shopping where the cars started, the cars started blocking the roads without talking about the whole infrastructure, and that's how it went on and on and on, and then that's how we started, boiling or fulfilling the cities to their capacity. We are out of balance already, which I spoke, and most current conservation strategies focus on the immediate social, cultural, and economic values of ecological diversity, functions, and services. For example, the intergovernment platform on biodiversity and ecosystem services mostly address the utilitarian management of biodiversity from local to global scales. Construction without environmentalism is a recipe for a disaster, we all know that. And then when you can't talk to nature, nature talks to us by having these kind of disasters, and it takes a heavy toll on the progress, and then suddenly we have eye-opener and we start relooking into the strategies, the developments. One recent example was COVID. We all learned how to live in last 2 years. And the slide is red because these are alarming numbers, which makes a concern to us. But yes, it is not only negative. The construction industry is responsible for almost 40% of global energy and it emits CO2 emissions, and the largest energy consuming sector. Building consumes 40% of the world's energy, 25% of the water, and are responsible for 30% of the global greenhouse gas emissions. The construction industry is responsible for the depletion of 50% of the world's nature resources. And this is the fact. This is the concerning pointers which I am trying to read. The construction and demolition waste accounts up to 40% of the world's total waste generation. This is huge, and we still don't know how to treat the construction waste on a larger front. Buildings are responsible for up to 30% of global raw material consumption and 50% of global steel production. Now, this is the alarming side of it. Let's look at the green side. The construction industry is a significant contributor to the Indian economy, accounting 88% of the country's GDP. The construction industry is a major employer of India and providing jobs over 50 million people directly and indirectly, which is a big number. The Indian construction industry has played a development of country's infrastructure where it is connecting on a big way. Since last 10, 15 years, we have seen that. The industry has played a significant role in meeting demands of affordable housing in India. Yes, the population, as Sir said rightly, and it is all getting driven by them. We can't just leave people like that. We have to make arrangements. And then the modern technology such as 3D printing, modular construction, building information modeling, BIM. These things are definitely making a change, and we have to look forward for it. We are working internationally, we are working locally. There's a big difference, 30-70, 70-30. So when we work international, 70% is on the drawing board, blueprint. They want to see everything today. And till they go on the ground, they have to sign off everything. There's no change, everybody's clear. Where it's reverse here, we work 30% on drawing board. At the same time, they want to start the site, they want to hire people and many things. And that's how all the things are running together, and that's how there's a big gap between the execution that we want to see, or the executed product, and unknowingly, knowingly, there's a huge waste that we all are contributing to, which is a major, major contributor to this degeneration of natural resources, which nobody accounts for. So then, the green is the new gray. That's what we have started doing. We are trying to give elevated green gardens. We are trying to keep the roof covers green so that the heat dissipation is less, and a lot of things. I'm giving some examples here. These are very fast examples. Suzlon One Earth is one of the green buildings, which is self-sustained. We all know that it's in Pune. The Edge, the building in Amsterdam, it's the greenest building in the world when it was built. It was the first green building when it was built, and it was almost self-sufficient, which was generating their own electricity. It was interdependent building. The One Angle Square at UK Manchester, again the most sustainable office building in the world. This building has got the flexibility to interuse the functions, and they have the flexibility to change the spaces inside. The Tower of PNC Plaza at Pittsburgh, again, I'm talking about these buildings because the architecture essence is still there. We see the aesthetic aspect of the building is not killed. Many people here, the person who was talking about TCS coming to Bhubaneswar, now I will give that example to you. When we do projects in Dubai, we have 5 pages architectural criteria where they give a color palette also. You can't think beyond it. They have strictly mentioned that you can't have a sloping roof, and they have given the types of sloping roof which cannot be provided. Plus they have given the reference images with the color palette, and within that whatever you want to do, you do it, so that they maintain the decorum of the skyline. And that's the regulation, what plays important role. And that's why when we go to Dubai, we see that it's a dictionary of architecture. Few buildings examples, this building is a living building because it is not dependent on any building. This is the Bullitt Center at Seattle. It has got a extended roof like a hat, and it is taking care of the building by itself with a lot of solar panels on almost 10,000 square feet solar panels, creating some 60 megawatt electrical consumption, which has been independent. And then the Crystal building at London. Now this is the architectural marvel, but nobody will believe that this is again the green building. So it's not that glass will be good or bad. It's about the whole product, what we are going to use, and how alarmed we are when we are trying to utilize these products. Building smart, building green, we save the planet one structure at a time. Now this image is something that I want to speak about. There are cities in India where people have to walk kilometers to come back to the house. They have mere electricity for hours in which we charge our mobiles. So there's a big disparity between this whole system. And if we don't get alarmed today, probably we will have a lot of property which we will leave for our kids as a legacy. But probably they'll have to buy fresh oxygen, they'll have to run for a tree, they have to probably run for a shelter, which will give them a comfort. And there are some movies also on this where they are buying the water, and something is more cheaper than water. So I think we all are educated people here, and we need to make sure that whatever we are contributing, a minute micromillimeter of micro, a molecule, we have to be alarmed what we are doing. There are some representations that I have tried to attempt on this. So these are current challenges. When we talk about green building, there's a taboo in the whole development sector. I will not say developers, anybody. They think that it's a costly affair because there are a lot of compliances, solar panels and all. We still are not aware about the complete product as a green building or as a sustainable building or as a building which is not hampering our nature. It is trying to contribute positive in the nature. So we need to be little more aware the way we are today. I am sure everybody knows green buildings, everybody knows sustainability. People are talking about GRIHA, people are talking about TERI, people are talking about LEED certification. Beyond that, these are compliances. But we need to create this awareness into our fraternity, whoever we are engaged with. Yes, I mean, the resources or the materials are not easily available. So that is also one of the challenges. And the kind of speed that we are looking at, we don't want to, we go for ease. It doesn't become a mandate. That's why this becomes also a challenge. We already spoke about this, regulatory hurdles. This is another problem. We are working with Aegis, which is world's leading PMC. Trust me, we spend a couple of hours, multiple times in a day, just to understand what they want as a documentation. And this is one major fallback in our industry, skillful laborers or skillful workforce, including the professionals. People do not want to get into the micro detail of the project, and they are just on the top layer of it. And this also becomes one of the challenge when we try to, makeshift our approaches towards this whole infrastructure. And then the inadequate infrastructure, of course. So this circle is the green circle where there are green things which we can always, that means they are possible. So, adopt the sustainability design principles. Right from the tracing paper when we take a project, I know the briefs are very tight, and it's not easy to always do a Taj Mahal project in every assignment. And that's what our team also says, sir, har building mein Taj Mahal bana zaruri hai kya? Let's divide the project into good projects, regular projects, sustainable projects, bread and butter projects. So I think that's fair enough, but still we can categorize the best role that we can contribute. We can probably look at the local context, whatever is available to us, and we can give a little attempt. I know we are always talking on the yesterday basis. Whenever we get the assignment, we say, client asks, kab milega, kal tak try karo. So, we are trying to adopt this practice in all of us. We need to start saying no. We can get into a little research factor of the projects. Why only for the competitions? The artist sir said how we have spoiled, and it was very right that we give you walls and just say that do artwork here. That's not right. All people should come together and start thinking about the project. That process is absolutely dissolved. We can always recall that, where we give a little esky sessions to the designers, product thinkers, and everyone. We can implement energy efficient systems, whatever is available with us. Then we can optimize our water use, which is very simple. Everybody knows rainwater harvesting, treating the grey water, using it for the landscape and all those things. I don't want to repeat that. Certification is a compliance, but why don't we make the certification as a byproduct? Try to get the system so much robust inside us, imbibe it so much that we could get the certification whenever we want. It should not become the other way. We have done some products which are platinum rated buildings, and suddenly they have become gold because there were cost issues and all things. And then, engage the stakeholders. We definitely want to engage our stakeholders by motivating, inspiring, and educating them, or having inter-educations to have these products delivered together. And then we would definitely want to reimagine our concrete jungles into the thriving ecosystems as a practice. And thereby, I would want to finish this session. It was wonderful, IDAC. It's a wonderful Team Bhubaneswar to have this opportunity for all of us to have this engaging sessions done. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for that wonderful presentation. May I please request Mr. Somyendu Shankare to please felicitate him. Thank you once again.